That was G.I. Joe is Full of Shit, Man, by the band that is joining me right now. I have Chris Cutler from Fat by the Gallon in. What's up, Chris?
What is up?
How are you? How's everything in life going?
Decent. No, good. It's going great.
It should be fucking going great. You have an awesome new album out.
Thank you. We're super proud of it, you know.
You want to tell me a little more about it?
It's called Ward Stories. It's our first release on Spam Records. They're out of Austria, so we're really pumped about that. I got to say that first to make sure that I say it.
Y'all are like big in Germany for some reason. What happened?
It's we're going there. You know, we went in 2019 for our first time. I wouldn't say that we're big, but we do have, you know, it's pretty received over there. But we played Spam Fest in 2019 with a shit ton of bands. I can cuss on here, right?
Oh, fuck yeah.
Okay. Shit ton of bands. We had a good time. We did a short run with Teenage Bottle Rocket over there.
Congratulations.
So that was a good time. We were spoiled our first time over there, being able to, you know, link up with those kind of guys.
So the new record comes out, but for people that don't know, how would you describe Fat by the Gallon? I mean, obviously they just heard that first track, but what's your like interpretation of the band? What do you think y'all sound like?
We've been getting a lot of feedback, like reviews have been coming in, and it's pretty cool, you know, to hear what other people say, because we're partial to it, obviously, so we're going to say, you know, what we think. But the main, you know, consistent comment on it is it's Texas as fuck. You know,
Texas is fuck.
Yeah. So,
well, the funny part is you were just talking to my wife, who randomly did an interview with y'all like 12 years ago or 10 years ago, however long it was. You were kind of saying that you write it almost as a country song first, before you turn it punk as fuck.
Yeah, I mean, it's nothing intentional. I mean, they just kind of start out, you know, I like to hang out on my patio or in my closet and play acoustics. And, you know, whenever I come up with something, it's usually more like a campfire song, you know, and then I bring it into the guys, and then this is what it, you know, that's what it turns into, you know.
Well, because you can definitely tell that you are a huge punk fan, because I can tell that you have grabbed across a variety of different bands. Like G.I. Joe's kind of got like a Sum 41 pop punk vibe to it, and then you've got 10-speed White Collar Blues that sounds like a Social Distortion track. So it's like you've grabbed, but you've put your spin on it, and I now see where you say Texas is fuck. Are you proud of that label kind of thing?
Sure. I mean, you know, if they, you know, I'm not a redneck by any means or anything like that. No, I would not be proud to say that. But I think it is. I think that's cool, you know. And, you know, it's original. Like you said, I can hear a lot of influences across the board, but there's nothing, you know, that's like a carbon copy. And no. I love the shit out of that, you know. So
how did Fat by the Gallon start?
Fat by the Gallon was actually started in White Right, Texas. So just to say,
you said redneck, and then
redneck.
You followed up with that statement.
Segue into where we started. It's WRIGHT. Anyways, small town. I won't get, you know, too far on it, but I moved there, you know, in 8th grade, and met Travis and Steve whenever I got into high school, and so we were like the only people into punk rock, you know, because I moved there and it had like, you know, spikes all around my head, you know, and everybody thought I was from California.
Everybody thought you were just fucking way out there.
And I was like, I was born in Mesquite, lived in Fort Worth, moved to McKinney. So I literally moved, it's 30 minutes, you know.
The whole Metroplex tour and that
right,
one.
Yeah. So anyways, so we started a band, and, you know, we didn't really know a whole lot of what we were doing. And, but we ended up making some really cool shit, you know.
So
2002 is when it started.
2002. So you've been going for over 22 years now.
Yeah.
At this point, Fat by the Gallon has been an entity for 20. It's probably longer than any band besides, I don't know, maybe Loyal Sally, I think, has been together that long as an entity.
I think Responsible Johnny is probably like close behind, you know what I'm saying? Like longevity wise. I know they're not doing much right now, but
yeah, I know they had like the one kind of 420 get together reunion show, but so how do you keep the spark alive? Because it's literally been through rebirths in terms of lineup and everything like that. How do you keep it going when, you know, like let's say a band member quits or something changes, somebody moves? How do you go like, okay, we're not going to dissolve this, we're going to keep going? What gives you that push?
I mean, it's a very fluid thing the way I look at it. It's like when we originally started. I know you asked a question, and I'm going to try not to get too far away from that question. I would say
get as far away as you want.
I would say drive. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's just a question. Anytime anything changes, I look at the other people who are still there and say, "What are we doing? You know, what do we want to do? You know, like if somebody leaves, what are we going to do? Do you want to continue this? And if so, cool, let's do it. You know." So we started out as a 4-piece. I was just a singer. I mean, I started out as the drummer, actually, and then we found a drummer and a bass player, and then I was just a singer, and then our bass player got a girlfriend, and I was in high school. I was a senior, and so I was also captain of the football team, believe it or not. So I was playing football on Friday nights, and we were playing shows sometimes on Wednesday nights, you know, like that kind of stuff. So it's kind of funny how that started. But anyways, so our bass player left. I knew how to play guitar, kind of. So I was like, man, I'll play bass. You know, we got shows lined up, and so we did that for 15 years. And then our guitarist moved to Seattle, and, you know, so then I called Tony and was like, hey, you know.
Because Tony is currently the bass player in the band. How did you meet Tony? Because you were in a small ass little town, and then.
Well, we were already playing in Dallas, and we recorded at Dang Studios, and a mutual person that we knew had said, hey, you need to, you know, go check out Dang Studios. We were about to record another EP, and so we went there and recorded, and it was Sean out in Denton. And so I met him, and then I started like immediately. You know, I was like, hey, you know, they were never really playing in Dallas all that much. They had the Denton circuit in Fort Worth, you know, but they had never really gotten a lot of shows in Dallas. And so, you know, I was like, I can get you shows in Dallas. And so I helped book them shows in Dallas. And then I ended up jumping on at Dang Records and helping get that thing running. You know, started out sending merch and, you know, just little shit like that. So obviously Tony was in his band and we became friends. We started playing shows together. But yeah, I ended up with this whole rhythm section because Joel too, you know, like.
So how did Joel come into the band?
Okay. So Tony came into the band because, yeah, Travis had moved to Washington, all that stuff. So fast forward to when Joel came in. So our drummer, Stephen Ray, if he hears this, I love him. You know, I played Frisbee golf with him last weekend. You know, he's, nice. You know, it's funny because as fluid as it is, everybody is still family and everybody is still super stoked about what we're doing too. You know, like I send them shit and they're like, fuck, you know. Or they'll be like, that sucks. You know what I'm saying? They're, you know, still, I like to bounce things off of them.
Oh, that's great constructive criticism right there.
I'll take it, yeah. You know. My wife is a very good, you know, she's very good at telling me straight up. And
she doesn't have to impress you. She's like, fuck that, I'll give you the truth.
But, so anyways, so Steve, he no-showed a show at... I don't even think it was Three Links yet. I think it was LaGrange. Or maybe it was Three Links at this point. It was the Bomb Pops. We were going on tour. We were going to the West Coast. And he no-showed our tour kickoff show with the Bomb Pops, you know.
It's not a good look.
No. And so Joel had to play, you know. Like we were there at the venue. We were loaded on. So Joel had helped track a couple of our records. And so the songs he knew, we just changed the set list to the songs he knew, you know, that were like ingrained in his brain from working with us recording. And then I sweet talked him, and he, we love him, so it's great.
So that's how you got the current band.
That is, we were a 4-piece at that point. We had Colton, the dude with the cowboy hat. A lot of people say the dude with the cowboy hat. Yeah. So after we got back from Europe in 2019, we're all good terms, but he wanted a year.
Almost ended right around then. Yeah.
He wanted a year off, and we're like, fuck that. And then we all had 2 years off, right? So it was like, but at the same time, it's like, he has other stuff going on, and that's totally cool, So now we are a 3-piece, yes, a trio. And that Ward Stories is the first recording of that.
It's like one of your first full length.
It's the first full length out of 22 years, which is
fucking crazy.
It's kind of sad, right? I guess
every 5 songs is a decade,
right? I know, but we've never forced to put out anything. This record was a little different because Colton was a great songwriter, and I was dealing with I wrote a handful of songs. We were trying to split, duties at that point, like half and half. But I would say that I was dealing with like a writer's block,
Got it.
So anyways,
go ahead. Sorry, my bad.
I don't know where I was going with that. It's all good.
Perfect. Well, we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to come back because To the Chopper is our next song, and that's got a video coming out or is out right now. So we'll be Ruth, you ruiner of moods. Apparently my voice is cracking. Yay, allergies. They're fucking fun. That was the 2 Watts with Russian Warship and To the Chopper by Fat by the Gallon. So y'all have a music video out for this one, right?
It actually, for To the Chopper, it comes out in 2 weeks. So when will this air? So August 30th. Friday, August 30th.
Middle of September,
okay.
After September.
So then, yes. So To the Chopper is officially out. Yes.
Nice.
Yes.
So how was it filming it?
To the Chopper was pretty cool. So Joel is our drummer. Joel Herrera couldn't be with us today. And Tony Baloney, mention him one more time. But anyways, so Joel makes film. That's what he does.
Cool.
And he, he's a badass. So I get as stoked watching him behind the camera as I do having him playing drums behind me, and he's the best drummer I know. So anyways, having him in the band is like, it's a blessing and a curse sometimes because you got, he's the best skilled person behind the camera, but he's got to play drums. So, but that video he shot every, still with the help of Rolo Cantu. He's been helping out a lot. But yeah, so Joel shot that, and we went to Mesquite in this warehouse, and they had like 10 different areas, like different back, what am I trying to think? Scenes, right?
Oh, okay.
And so we used this big room with these LED lights, and it turned out pretty cool. So yeah, we originally wanted that to be the first single, because it's more like a live. Ruth is talking too here.
Oh yeah, she's known for harassing people on this show. There's a reason why she's the mascot.
She loves me.
She does love you and wants to intimidate you, I think. So while we were out there, though, during the break, you happened to mention to me that the album is named kind of after, Ward Stories, that you have Huntington's disease, and that it's kind of a bit about your time in and out of the psych wards. Or not your time necessarily, but hypothetically.
Sure.
First off, Huntington's disease sucks, and you stated that it's not really a known disease, even though it should be. Can you explain it for people that don't know what it is real quick?
So Huntington's disease is basically, it's hereditary for starters, but it's Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, and ALS all together, on steroids, So yeah, it's there's a lot, but Not a lot of people are familiar with it, and some families have had it probably, and they didn't even know because it's not something that you would like think to get checked for, right?
So how did the disease make it? Because I didn't even think about it when I was listening to this album. Now that I know, it's going to change my perspective a little bit, but how much of your experiences went into the songwriting of this?
All of it. Yeah, from start to finish.
Is there any moment, like a lyric or something, that really hits home on the subject?
Yeah, there's, we put these songs in order. They weren't written intentionally to be in any kind of order, so we didn't like set out to write Bohemian Rhapsody or anything like that. But when their stories is it's just storytelling. I love country. We talked about that earlier. I've really been into a lot of singer songwriter stuff, and I'm also a huge Tupac fan, and so like, War Stories is a Tupac song, and so I kind of took that too for Ward Stories, because it's more like of the wards. But yeah, there's a lot, there's a lot of storytelling in there about finding out, or sending off the, doing the test and waiting for the results. You know what I'm saying? And then there's one, about getting the results and, processing that. So there's a lot, and it made us as a whole reevaluate like our lives, and that allowed me to open up some kind of doors and reevaluate some shit, that I've been dealing with coming up, like we all have shit.
You were saying that it actually helped lead you to a collaboration with the Woody Guthrie Foundation?
Yeah, so it's funny because, Woody Guthrie, everybody, heard Woody Guthrie when you were in elementary school, kindergarten, singing.
As you said, first punk rocker.
Yeah, he is. He's a pioneer. But so he had Huntington's disease, and so actually the artwork is from a book that they had put out called Wardy 40. And that's actually like where Woody Guthrie was housed when he had Huntington's, because they didn't know,
They just assumed he was going insane.
They just assumed, yeah. And so he was in there for a little bit. And I came across a picture, and I reached out to the Woody Guthrie Foundation because I wanted to ask for permission to use it. And what I got back was a response from Woody's granddaughter, Anna, and she's super sweet. Super supportive, and she got me in touch with the guy who took the picture, and they both gave me the blessing. And so they allowed me to put that art on our art, and I love it, and it really ties it together. And most people aren't even going to know that, looking at it. So, but I think if they just look at it, they're like, this, you could say that's just rad anyways, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And not have to know that.
So your first album in 22 years.
First full length, yes.
First full album. How does it feel like now that it's done, it's over, it's out of the way? Like, are you like, oh, thank fuck? Because I know people have been asking you about it for years.
I've been asking myself about it.
You can push the dog down, by the way.
She's cool. She's so cool. You're so good, Ruth. Yeah, no, it feels great. Like, to me, that's the dream to put out a record, and to be able to do it, with the dudes that I did it with, and, what we did with it, it makes us even more proud,
What was the funniest moment in the studio?
The funniest moment in the studio? So we went to Empire Sound Studios. And
yeah, give the shout outs to all the engineers and everything
Empire,
right now.
Matt Kennedy. That dude is the shit. He was in, what was it, Dallas Observer Awards last year or something for Best Engineer. I don't think he got it, but I voted for him.
Thanks, man.
Yeah. So anyways, Matt Kennedy was great. So we went to that studio, did 3 sessions, like weekends, with them, and I was doing vocals, and we were going back and forth from the vocal booth, and there's these sliding doors, right? And shit, I don't remember. I don't remember what was happening. I was listening to playback, and I came back in to the studio to listen to playback, and I fucking like straight up Acme, planted on this glass door.
Did you do the whole Wiley cut? Just leave a big old face mark right on there?
It was there, big old smudge. And I mean, I'm surprised that thing didn't break or fall off the track. I was coming, I was coming. But yeah, that was pretty funny. So then I come back through later, and he had put a little notebook piece of paper that said door, taped to it. That was funny. There was a lot of funny stuff.
It's like, what's that in Turin in Italy, that like a shroud of Jesus is there, like that studio will forever have the Chris Cutler face implant.
Yes, it better. I'm sure he cleaned it very quickly. It was pretty gross.
So the album's out. We talked about that. We've covered everything. Like, what's some things that over your career you've been pretty proud of that you can now go, all right, we did that. That was a great moment in time.
Man, I've been married going on 20 years now. In May, that'll be 20 years. We've been friends forever, and I always hit her with, man, if I, met the Foo Fighters and, opened up for Bouncing Souls, I could quit music. And then, like, literally that happens. You know what I'm saying? Like, we opened up for Bouncing Souls at Gas Monkey Live one time, just randomly. And then that month, Foo Fighters were playing the Moody Theater, and, like, Chris Shiflett texted me. And so, like, I went and got to see them and hung out. And then, so, of course, whenever I got back from all that, it was like a month difference or something. But my wife was like, hey, you said if that happens, and I'm like, I'm already on to the next. It's always the next. I'm stoked about things that we've done, and I'm proud of those things. And I'd love to reflect on them, but I am constant. I'm just not, not ever going to be satisfied, probably, I'm just going to keep going.
Are you going to tour the new album at all?
Yeah. We've got, we're working on some West Coast stuff. We were originally going to try to go to Europe in November, but it looks like it's probably going to be next summer. So we're stoked about that. So yeah, and then hopefully do some stateside stuff, maybe some festivals, but yeah, we're going to push the shit out of it.
So when you guys go to Europe, do you work with like a tour company? Like, how does a band from Dallas, like somebody that's, done the tours here, and they're kind of like, I want to go on tour in Europe. How do you make that happen?
Cold emailing. I mean, for starters, when we went, I was for Spam Fest, and fortunately, we had, if we got that, we're like, man, we'll book a tour around that. So I was just hitting up every venue and like reaching out to anybody who I could get my hands on. And did find a Bill. Got to give Bill a shout out just in case he listens to this. He was our driver, and but he picked up our gear and showed up at the airport.
Shit, y'all got a roadie,
dude. He became the tour dad. Band manager. He filled in some of the holes. We had shows that, we had holes in our dates, and he helped fill that. So got real lucky. Obviously, being able to share some dates with Teenage Bottle Rocket's always fun. Those dudes are real good friends of ours. And, that was a good time. So
is there any like memories that are like key, or like if somebody's going to Germany, do you have any like punk clubs you recommend they go to?
Yeah. I mean,
I say this because I really want to go to Germany, so I need some recommendations.
We played shit, man. Damn it, my mind wasn't even there. The place in Berlin actually recently closed, I think. Man, what was the name of that venue?
R.I.P.
R.I.P.
Yeah.
We played some really cool places. I can't even think of any of them. I mean, we did. Yeah, I can't even think of any off the top of my head. The names.
Can I give you all, like, if you're going to go to Europe, the country that we went to that is like fucking hungry for live punk, Poland and Romania.
Yeah.
Like, they are fucking dying for it, and it's so cheap.
My brother-in-law is from Romania.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
My sister-in-law is from Romania.
Really?
Yeah.
That's funny, man. Kindred spirits.
Yeah.
Dude. Kindred spirits.
Yeah, my brother's wife is Romanian, so
Yeah.
we were just in Romania for 2 weeks last year.
Nice. Did you like it?
Fucking loved it.
Yeah.
I saw so many bears.
Really?
Like, it's a weird thing to say, but yeah, there's bears all
Like
over the
big
middle part.
bears or like?
Oh, they're big fucking bears, too.
Shit.
Yeah. They're giant. They're just
didn't
walking
know
around
that.
on the road and shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Gypsies are still a real thing.
Hell yeah. That's awesome. Yeah, we want to go. We want to go, because they go over there and stuff. And so our niece, she speaks a little Romanian too,
They all pretty much speak English perfectly, too.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So it's amazing. I will say it's great. Me and Veronica went, and we were there for a week, and like we were there for 2 weeks, but like we were staying in this one area for a week, and I was like, all right, I need to book a hotel for that week. I saw this place and penthouse in Romania. I was like, okay, it said $200 US, and I'm like, that can't be right. I looked, that was for the week.
You're like, that's a cleaning fee.
Yeah, I was like, I will sell my apartment now and just live here permanently for the fucking rest of my life.
It's insane. And, the people were super nice over there and inviting, or they seem to be.
In Germany. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Romania, it's different. I will say the older generation are kind of assholes.
Set in their ways.
And the newer the non-communist raised generation are loving and very happy.
Yeah.
So,
sick.
But was that your experience with Germany? Was the people very warm and inviting?
Yeah, super. We didn't have any negative. I mean, every interaction that we had, was positive.
The Germans are not known for being cuddly people. So.
No, I mean, and it was cool. I mean, we did Netherlands, a few places in Germany, Austria, Czech Republic.
So you covered a good long way. So, all right, I usually ask this question to everybody. If you could go back in time, like let's say you had to go back and do your European tour over again, like a 15-year-old came up to you and said, I'm about to go tour Europe with my band. What advice would you give them?
I mean, just do it, first off, however you can do it, do it. It's worth it, I was trying to think of something like,
Not the most profound answer.
Yeah, not a very profound answer. I'm sorry, but no, I mean,
it could be in general, I just want
to go. I'm looking forward to going back. Do it and enjoy it. Because it's a rad fucking place. It's worth it. If you like a lot of those places that we played, the venues, like we stayed at the owner's houses or like a friend's house or at the place, like upstairs, and they cooked food. I mean, it was amazing and super inviting. So it's a great experience, and I don't even want to talk about it anymore until we do it again.
All over again. Who's the worst to share a bedroom with in the band?
Probably me, because I snore. Yeah, probably. I mean, it depends, because if you're sharing a room with Tony will pass out like at a desk or in a chair or something like that. So, you end up with the whole bed to yourself a lot of the times. So I don't know. Everybody's pretty good, man. We're cuddlers. We like to cuddle.
Y'all look sweet as pie up there.
Martin is quite the cuddler.
Well, guys, speaking of letting go of this conversation, we're about to wrap it up, and y'all got the single out, Letting Go.
Not yet. No,
it's not out yet.
Yeah, that'll actually be the next video. It's either the next or the one after that. So G.I. Joe's out now, To the Chopper's out now when this comes out, and Letting Go is going to be next.
So there'll be 3 videos off this album, basically. 4 videos off this. Okay, cool.
4, yeah.
But all of the songs are available on the album, which tell people where they can find you and where to get the album.
You can just look up Fat by the Gallon. There's no other Fat by the Gallon. It's super easy. But Spotify, iTunes, all that stuff. It really helps. We will have vinyl.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Spam will be pressing vinyl for us, so they're going to give us an update as far as a date for that. But for now, listen to it online. Check the YouTubes. Listen to Austin's show, like every episode.
And I'm going to post that interview that Veronica did of you guys because Chris looks like a little baby in it.
I feel like I look more like a baby now than I did in that thing.
We've all grizzled a little bit, let's face it.
Man, yeah, that was hilarious.
So real quick, tell us what Letting Go is about.
Letting go is about, losing your homies and, just trying to deal with it.
Fair enough. Chris, thank you for coming on.
Austin, thank you so much for having me.
Love you, dude.
Love you, man.
All right, guys, this is Letting Go by Fat by the Gallon. Pick it up, Dallas.